G'day viewers, I've got to share a pretty shocking story with you today. There's an extremist Muslim cleric in Melbourne intent on inflicting his puritanical views on everyone. He's actually formed like this little posse of like-minded thugs, actually going around Melbourne accosting people, saying that's immodest wear and threatening them and trying to scare people off. And this is in public places, in front of like families and whatnot, just coming across being extraordinarily thuggish and threatening because, you know, he's got the right to according to his beliefs. And on top of that, he's formed what he's calling a clubhouse that he's getting young men into. And this is with the explicit intent of radicalizing these young men, getting them to conform to his extremist ideology and become as violent as him. This guy does, by the way, have multiple convictions, including for violent crimes. And he's running what is, in almost all certainty, an illegal clubhouse. Now, fortunately, with all these things, one after the other, after he staged a failed rally on the weekend, the police swooped on his clubhouse, arrested the lot of them, and shut it down. Just kidding. It was not a Muslim. It was actually open Hitler worshipper Blair Cottrell. And the cops didn't do shit. Fucko had a big Aussie pride rally on the weekend. I say big because he wanted it to be big, but it was little and it was outnumbered by a big crowd of protesters. Like, he failed so badly. That came out in two ways. One is he had a huge hissy fit spray on his Facebook page about, why are none of you come out? You said you're going to come out and you didn't come out. Blah, blah, blah. And it's funny because he thinks it's a private group because he thinks he's smart enough to stop people infiltrating it. And he's not. And so when people screenshotted it and started sharing it, he deleted it. But, you know, screenshotted, so it's a bit too late. But also, actually on the day, after being humiliated by the pissy turnout and being really significantly outnumbered by the protesters, him and half a dozen of his thug mates paraded through Federation Square in Melbourne, and there was an entertainer. We often have entertainers, buskers around Melbourne. It's actually, there's a licensing process. You actually apply to the city council for a license to do street entertainment. And they just spotted this guy and went for him because, and this is how secure Blair is, the guy was wearing a pink leotard. And that's just not on with Blair. From Blair's perspective, as soon as someone's wearing something that he doesn't like, that guy's obviously a pedophile. So this guy's happily entertaining a happy crowd, and this thug and his thug mates come over and start threatening and abusing him and saying, I'm protecting the kids. Meanwhile, kids are probably being traumatized by this thuggery going on. And the performer, he went and got some cops, these guys going, and the cops just said, oh, we'll let you leave. We'll help you leave safely. You know, as opposed to arresting the fucking thugs who are threatening people in public. You know, heaven forbid we should do that. And all these things are blowing up in his face. Like, his flag rally was a humiliation. The flag whip parade, as it's become known. He thought he'd been a big man. Like, he is so sure of his thuggery being the right thing to do. He actually videoed him attacking this guy in a leotard and put it on Facebook like, I'm fighting a good fight. And that blew up in his face. Not to the extent it should have, i.e. he should have been arrested, but people rallied to support the performer. He's been on TV. He did another set in Fed Square with a huge supportive crowd. Basically, just yet again highlighting what a complete loser Blair Cottrell is. And the clubhouse thing I mentioned is real. Blair and his other extreme right nutcases so we're going to have these boys clubs and we're going to be in our proper environment and there's going to be a gym there and we're going to be men and we're going to advance the cause. In other words, like I said, radicalizing young men. Interesting thing is there's now a petition to the local council to have this shut down. Not because they're horrible Nazi-loving freaks who should be shut down. That's fairly legitimate in my book. But because the club is almost certainly illegal on multiple levels, the way they've been doing it. So it'll be fun if he gets his stupid little boys club shut down too. I mean, the thing is, he'd be funny if he wasn't dangerous. He's violent. He's got a long history of criminal activity, and he's very much emboldened to thinking he's completely within his rights to physically threaten and go after people just because he doesn't like him. So don't you ever fucking dare tell me, oh, Antifa's really bad. They only go after fucking Nazis, you fucks. This guy just goes after anyone in the street he doesn't like the look of. And again, if there's anyone out there that's stupid enough to go, oh, you're just misusing the term Nazi. This prick is openly worshipping Hitler. He's gone on record as saying Hitler's photo should be in school classrooms. Every school kid should be reading Mein Kampf. He has parties on Hitler's birthdays, okay? So fuck you saying, you call anyone Nazis. No, this guy's a fucking Nazi, and so are his fucking supporters with their fucking swastika tattoos, okay? And again, for the really, really stupid people out there saying, oh, I bet you wouldn't protest a Muslim. Of course I fucking would. Anyone who uses extremist views to hurt people can get fucked. And again, don't say you, but that's what Antifa do. No, you can't reason with Nazis, okay? Logic and calm reason doesn't help them see the error of their ways. Their ideology is in and of itself violence. There is no such thing as a peaceful Nazi. Nazism is the violent repression of anyone else. So if you think I'm bad for saying a Nazi is a piece of shit who should be shut down, it's pretty fucking safe to say where you sit on the whole thing.